Pastor John podcast. I am with me is Nate and Gray from the Behind the Badge podcast. They are paying me back since I was on theirs. I said, dare them to become on mine. So, hey guys, I appreciate you coming on. Getting new at this, trying to figure this out. What's happening out your way?
It is warm and beautiful today. I think it was almost 80 degrees. It's supposed to be 80 some degrees tomorrow. So after the last week or so, it's nice to have some warm weather and sunshine.
Yeah, we had freezing here, and after work I stopped by and got it was so nice I bought charcoal. Oh, there you go. There's a
That's great.
That's great. We got this puppy that's hanging out with us today too. He's a 3-month-old puppy, a little giant schnauzer poodle. He's like
awesome.
12 pounds right now, but he's going to be 100 pounds before long.
We had I don't know if you've ever seen mine when I got Marley and Dexter, and actually Dexter was a product of a 911 call. Somebody thought it was a baby in a bucket, and it was like,
oh wow,
it was 5 pups, and he was the runt, so brought him home, and he's been here ever since. And Marley, she's the one that I will, if you see people post a picture of a dog and they'll say, hey, post your fur babies, let's see your fur babies. Well, yeah. I took a picture of her dumping a load into the yard, and that's the one I throw up there. And Marley's gonna be famous.
There you go. That's hilarious. I think there's a couple pictures of me doing that somewhere.
Yeah. I mean,
Post
you're
them.
old, so.
Plugging fire station. So.
I mean, if you take off your adult diaper, then that's the option you get.
Oh man.
Yeah, they. So how'd you guys get going with your podcast? How'd that come about?
So I had started radio. I've been in radio for a while. Was looking for something to do law enforcement related. As that was my background. So I started doing some exploring and was introduced to Gray, and we discussed the idea and we're like, okay, let's do this. So we just kind of took off, kind of like you are, just kind of exploring and seeing how things went. And 3 years later, here we are doing it.
Oh. Yeah, I said I wanted to be a getaway, or maybe entertaining, or have some influence on the job. But I mean, I wanted to give a place to people. That's how I started out with the memes and jokes, was to get away and stress relief for dispatchers, and I'd send them to different dispatch centers, and that's where it kind of, then a video that went big here and there, and next thing you know, here we are.
Well, they're freaking awesome, man. Super entertaining and like always creative. I don't know how people come up with this stuff, but it's awesome to like, why didn't I think about that? Or like, that's brilliant, or that's so perfect. Like to the first responder community, it's like the life that we live, and it ties us all together. It's awesome.
I do it right then. Anytime something happens, I mean, if there's a call going on or whatever, but I'll write it down, but mine are, that's how I stay relatable. It's stuff as it happens. On my Instagram, I put active 911 dispatcher, because I'm still working the phones and overtime and all that. And I mean, I just got off a couple hours ago, and here we are.
That was a 10-hour shift, right? Do you actually get off at a 10-hour shift time, or do you go like 12?
We're limited to 14. We can't work over 14 hours. 16. I've worked 16. Because back when we worked 8 hours, you could do a double. And we can't do so many flip-flop. We can't do a quick turnaround. We got to have at least so many hours off. But you know, that gets broken every now and then. if they don't catch it. There's been some records set. The one, what was the one? I don't know how you guys, but I had, I did 10 hours. There was an open shift, nobody filled it. So I was off for 4 and I went back in and did another 10. But the worst I've done is we were shorthanded. It was a weekend. One of our dispatchers went to the road and me and another guy did 16 hours, 8 off, 16 hours, 8 off, 16 hours. So it was no structured time on, time off. Sun was up, sun was down. We didn't know what day it was. And I was babbling after that third day. I was out there and I didn't know what day it was. I just went home and crashed. I slept for so long.
I mean, not to brag or anything, but every time I do fire dispatch, it's 48 hours straight. I'm just saying.
Straight napping.
That's true. That's true. A lot of it is.
I was thinking about like a dope investigation that we used to crash in like our office floor.
Yeah.
To get like a little power nap, because keeping up with meth head tweakers, like normal humans can't do that, and we would like exceed all caffeine drinks that we could. I mean,
Drinking Jolt.
Oh yeah, red lines. There's these like 400 milligram caffeine red lines, and a buddy of mine loved the Princess one, so it was even funnier to have him drink a Princess red line. It's like a pink bottle. We call him, various female names when he would drink that, but that was, dude, that sucked. I remember, so we would actually save an energy drink to drink right before, because we had a 45-minute drive home.
Yeah.
And we would slam like a couple hundred, like a pre-workout basically, and drive
just
home.
to make the drive.
Yeah, and like you get in the garage and start stripping on the way to your bed, and you just crash for a couple days.
Oh goodness.
I know that was kind of different comparing that to mine. I mean, it is a fire department, so to say you actually work.
I mean, yeah, working is a relative term, so
Yeah,
I'm on duty. Let's just put it. That's like how I went to college. I technically went to college. It's more I lived on campus than teaching class.
I felt that shock before, because one time I was working in the department the upstairs of the city hall caught on fire, and water raining through and the ceiling and filled with smoke, and I was solo shift.
Oh.
And it was.
You go to like a mobile dispatch. You just take a handheld and go outside.
Yeah, I didn't. I'd been a fireman for 10 years ago, and it didn't bother me. I was fine. There was no danger. I mean, I don't want to sound, but I mean, the fire was in the upstairs. It was going up the wall. It wasn't coming down. We just got water and smoke. I mean, it was getting thick, but I didn't leave until the phones went down. The firemen came in and covered the wall with a tarp where our phone lines were at, and it stayed. And that was funny, taking calls while you're hearing people run in, and the firemen yell, and they're like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "The building's on fire. Can I get your information?" And we keep on and go, and when the phones went down, I'm like, "Well, I'm in the way, so I'm just gonna get out of here." Our backup then was the fire department, so we went down there and set up, and that was, I mean,
sitting lounge chairs.
Oh, we were down there for weeks, 3 weeks, and we're sitting there, and I was answering the phones, and one of the firemen came in, opened the fridge. He goes, "Hey, is this steak fresh?" And I went, "Well, that's the one thing you would never hear at the police department." And the other guy was like, "Yes, it's fresh. Enjoy it." And I went, followed by the second thing you would never hear at the police department. But it was, oh yeah, they were, oh my gosh. Is that your dog or mine?
That's mine. Sorry.
that's the dog here.
So answering the phones, you're like 911. What's your emergency? Is it worse than mine? Because if it isn't,
Yeah.
then I'll call you back.
Oh yeah, your neighbor's dog's barking. My shit's on fire. How about that?
That's right.
Are you in a fire? Are you sitting in a fire right now? No.
Yeah. Do you smell that too? Because I do.
You hear that sizzling in the background? It ain't a hot plate.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I've never done that. I'd be a little bit weirded out by that one.
What, a hot plate?
No, the fire. Are you kidding? I lived off hot plates in college. But no,
It was-
the
it-
fire. That would freak me out a little bit.
It wasn't bad. I mean,
It seems ironic.
Also.
Well, I mean, like a first responder dispatch, you probably dispatched for fire. Did you dispatch fire out to your own fire?
that's exactly how I did it. I hit the tones and I hit the I hit the tone. Well, okay, if we're going to do it, let's do it. We were sitting there, and one of the patrolmen came around, and he goes, "Hey, there's some water running or something in the back. You need to check it out." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a plumber." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Maybe." I said, "Whatever. Well, let's go check." We walked back there, and water's dripping down. I said, "That." And about halfway down the hall, I stopped, and I went, "Dude, that's smoke." He goes, "Yeah, we should call someone." And I went, "Yeah, like the fire department." And I took off running back, and I just hit the button, threw out the tones, and the way I did it, I said, I don't really get my town, but I said, "Fire department needs you to respond to my location, heavy smoke in the building." And then all the officers are coming on the radio, and they're like, "Man, what'd you say?" And I was like, "City Hall is on fire above me." And here they came, they come in, and it was, I mean, I don't want to make light of it. I know a lot of people are traumatized, but it wasn't. There was a lot of damage, a lot of smoke, a lot of water, but we were okay. And we'd watched the security cameras of officers running up and trying to look in the glass of the front of the building. And I was like, "Here he comes, here he comes." And his face would pop up. And I go, "There he goes." I was like, just making fun of him, and had fun with it. But yeah,
Well, they make it easy.
yeah, it's so simple. But yeah, leather recliners. Our guys do it upright. I mean, it's a really good fire department.
Well, I mean, I don't know how busy y'all's fire department is. Ours is not that busy, so it's a lot of sitting around, a lot of playing games, a lot of eating. The young kids still work out a lot. The older guys are just kind of like, "I'm gonna sleep."
Cuddling.
Cuddling, yes. There's some cuddling that goes on, but
Well, yeah. The other day they called up, and this is what it's like working with me. If you want to get that feel out, they said, "Hey, we need you to start a call for us," because they can't push a button. And I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll open the call for you. What, you head to the grocery store, getting some ribs, supplies, barbecuing, what, code 3? And he's like, yeah, real funny. We're doing an inspection on a smoke alarm." I was like, "And then going to the grocery store?" He's like, "We've already been to the grocery store." But I know I bust their chops.
well, I mean, they make it easy, so you have to.
And everybody loves them, so they can't get mad.
That's what I don't understand. I'm like, they don't even really do anything. They don't do much, and they go in, they put some water on a fire if there's a fire. Because
Yeah.
most of the calls are out before they get there, and then they get all the glory.
I've seen officers do amazing things,
Yeah.
here and there, and bust their ass and just do amazing work. Hardly get anything. They're just like, yeah. And I explained to it sometimes. I said, a fireman can show up and get there as the foundation is the only thing left, and they're being thanked for just showing up. I'm not making light of it. But I've seen
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, thank you for coming." I'm like, it was gone before they got here. They didn't even have a chance to. And the policemen are they're mad for showing up at a call that someone called them to come out to, and
Yeah.
that's the difference. I've always explained it like that. But
Yeah, that's true. It's a little bit. It's completely different. It's weird working both sides of it. So, I go to the fire station and it's like this whole other environment. The atmosphere is a lot more relaxed. The guys are a lot more jovial. You don't get snapped out about stuff. They don't ever yell at you on the radio. I mean, you go to
Oh.
PD and it's tense and anger and hatred. And, yeah, it's kind of a different world.
yeah, I've been on both sides, and it's the fire side, the camaraderie, the brotherhood. I've finally seen that, and when I went to Police Week, and honestly, that's amazing. It's the just the camaraderie. I don't see that where I'm at. I mean, there is camaraderie, there is buddies, but up there it was
Yeah.
people you didn't even know, and I've met friends, made friends from it, and just I could go on and on about that. It was. I tell you what was funny. They came up to the. I work the. I spend all the time at Relentless Defenders table, and anytime a dispatcher would come up, I'm like, "Dispatcher John's here." And some of them would be like, "Who?" Most of them would be like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "I'm the guy down here begging," and but it was all these guys came up. They were getting a picture. All the the big names were there. I call them, and these guys came up. You could tell, they were younger guys and probably SWAT guys, and they all lined up and they was taking pictures, and I was like, "All right, everybody ready? What do we got? A group of firemen here?" And it was from smiles to, "Hey man, don't."
That's a peeing in their cereal.
Oh,
My goodness.
they did. It was funny. We got to laughing.
Do you think part of that is because, I mean, not that firemen don't see trauma and stuff, but they have a lot more downtime to kind of recuperate. Whereas, the officers I feel like these guys are on edge from the minute they get in their cruiser until the minute they get home. Do you think that has something to do with it, or is it just, I don't know, it's a different mentality for policemen than it is for firefighters.
It is. I mean, if you think about it, a police officer comes in, he clocks in, and boom, it's call, call, call. They get a little time between calls to where, firemen have more. I'm not being disrespectful, but they have more time that's not spent. They're more relating to each
Stressing.
other, and yeah,
Yeah.
and they're longer shifts, so they have more time, and that's why I'm saying that they're longer shifts. Our shifts are, some departments are 8, 10, 12, whatever. You come in and it's just straight work, and the whole attitude aspect, I think, causes the differences. Some guys have to have the ego to, and a lot of those conflict and bump, and they always have to be right. And I told him, I said, an officer doesn't always have to be right. He has to be fair. And
Yeah.
just as long as you're fair. And that's one of the sergeants. He said, "Look, I may not be right, but I will be fair." And I said, that's the best way I can always find to look at it.
Do you feel like as a dispatcher you get stuck in the middle of that sometimes?
Me, I don't know. I don't let it. I mean, I'm a kind of a exemption, I guess, because I've been there so long and I speak a little freely, and I can see younger, newer dispatchers. And it is intimidating. I used to train some, and I tell people, I'm like, "Look, your job is to boss around and tell people where to go, what to do, and they wear guns. I said, you have to be confident, you have to be sure of what you're doing. And that's why I always wanted people to be proud and confident in what they do. It just makes it better. Know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I've seen
Well, I think
guys.
it's interesting because we all went through a hiring process, right? It doesn't matter if you were a cop or a fireman or a dispatcher, like, and you had expectations of the job. You had like your training. You had what developed you along the way, and from start to finish. You know, you said you've been on the job for a while. It's crazy how much that changes after so many years. You're like, man, I kind of remember when I was here, like young and had drive, maybe not drive, but had like, maybe I was naive. About this, and now like cynical.
Still care.
Yeah, like you cared differently. How about that? I don't want to say we don't care, but we care differently. How, the interview process, I think, you know, we're all three on different aspects here. Nate fire, dispatcher, and I'm law enforcement. Like, if you have a cop that wants to become a fireman, that don't fly, because no one wants to spend 48 hours with someone who's like type A, A-dub, like won't ever calm down. Where a dispatcher, you have to like fluctuate up and down. Like you have to be command presence to tell the officers where to go, but you also have to be chill enough to listen to the phone, the incoming call.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's our training process. I think is got to be what, I don't know. I don't want to say screws us up, but the public do. But I don't know. I guess the point I'm making is I wouldn't want a cop to be a fireman, because you wouldn't want to spend. I wouldn't want to be a fellow fireman with a cop who's a dick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys spend hours. I know a trooper, a friend of mine that became a fireman, and his training process was not good. Several fire departments passed on him because they're like, "What you used to do, a trooper? Yeah, no thanks. You're not gonna be a fireman. Like, you're
Yeah.
too made up. We're not gonna spend 24 hours with you."
Yeah.
And now he's a fireman now, but it took a long time. He actually had to volunteer and earn his place. And they're like, "Okay, you are chill."
Shift the mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the cities that have just the public safety department? And
Yeah.
I met a guy that was both. He said 1 week he'll be a police officer, 1 week he's a fireman. They cross train him, they cross certify him, and wherever they need, they go. And I went, that would be such a mind blow to be.
Yeah. I have a buddy from Kansas that did that.
Yeah, Kansas.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, so one day you're loved, and then the next day you're hated. I was like, that must have just messed with you. He's like, not me.
Yeah. Well, 1 week he tells people what he does for a living, and the next week he's attractive.
He lies. The next week he lies.
Yeah. So, fire dispatching, every once in a while I get the opportunity to go out with the guys. I'll go out on the engine or something, and we'll go to some public places, and just the way that people look at you and talk to you is way different than when I was in uniform.
Yep.
As an officer. It's well, you sense as an officer when you approach somebody, there's that automatic trepidation they have. They're already afraid that you're looking to nab them for something. They think they're in trouble. They're all just put off. As a firefighter, you're coming in to rescue their kitten, so they're at ease. Like you were saying, they're happy to see you. They're not going to get nasty. Although we did see a firefighter get punched one time.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Guy went to jail.
Yeah. So that every once in a while you get a little.
No, the other fireman beat the crap out of that guy. Like
Did
one
he
of the other
really?
firemen, yeah. One of the other firemen that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the other responding firemen got a few punches in on this guy.
He was a little bit hammered, to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the same tone, last week we had a shooting at a local neighborhood Walmart, and Walmart neighborhood Walmart freaked out, and they wanted coverage for like 24 hours a day for 3 days, because it was a gang related shooting, gang/drug deal that had gone wrong, Moral of that story is if you're 14, don't bring an airsoft to a gunfight because now the kid at 14 is paralyzed.
Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah, paralyzed the rest of his life. But Walmart wants to hire a bunch of people. Well, a buddy of mine calls me and he's like, "Hey, I need some help. Call some buddies. I can't cover this with my guys. We need to like all pull together." And it was paying pretty good. We were paying like almost double what the normal rate was, but you only had 72 hours to get it done. So I covered a 4 a.m. to noon shift because I had time and was bored and it's good money.
Are they even open that? I don't think
No,
they're open all
they
night
don't open until
anymore.
6. Yeah, they don't open until 6 a.m. And it was a cold front coming through that same. I looked at my phone and like I was like, okay,
I was
sitting
working
out
this
here.
trip someday.
Were you?
Yeah.
So I sit out there and it's like 9 a.m. I go in to go to the bathroom. I talk to the store manager. I'm coming back out to my patrol car. Mind you, they told me where to park. You know, it's right in front of the building in the front lane. I'm walking out and this old dude, I mean, I would say mid-50s. Younger than my parents, but not
So
old.
pretty close to my age.
Yeah, pretty much your age. Look like you too, actually. Same glasses and everything. He says, "Are you effing dumb or effing lazy?" And I was like, I mean, I was kind of like, you know, like smiling and being nice. I was in full uniform.
Yeah.
And I go, "I could be both. Why are you asking?" And he goes, "You're too effing lazy to move out of this fire lane, and you're obstructing blah blah." And I'm like,
They park there
wow.
all. I know the Walmart you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And so I go, "Actually, sir, I'll park wherever Walmart pays me to park. There was a shooting here, and we're watching out for the patrons of Walmart." And he was like, and he went off talking and goes to Walmart. And I'm like, what a dick! Like I'm here to protect you and watch my Netflix, and you're giving me shit over this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's kind of a hood Walmart.
Yeah, it was a white old dude. I mean, it was just the
Yeah.
craziest thing.
That's funny.
But didn't that
But
feel
yeah, that's-
good?
Oh yeah, yeah. I threw him off balance when he said, I said I could be both. He was like, kind of like, well, who answers that way? I'm like, bro, I'm being honest with you here, sir. but it was this like, if I was a damn fireman, he would have been like, "I love you. You're in fire zone. That's your area." You know, like.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
Well, I love that feeling because I did that. There was the interstate runs by our city, and we take the calls for that. And there was a bad wreck. It was fatal. They were lined up. It was one of those that was not. I mean, the roads were going to be. Traffic was shut down for a long time. And this woman called and was just from the second I answered the phone, she was just total bitch. And she said, "What's going on?" And I was like, you know, this is me, but I was like, "You mean in general or with society? Where are you wanting to go with this?" And
I've got a little it.
I was like, "Well, I can tell you what I need." She goes, "We have been sitting here for 25 minutes on this interstate." And I was like, "Yeah, well, there's a," and she interrupts me and goes on this just tirade of, "This is my weekend," and and just told me all about her and how she was inconvenienced. And I said, "All right, are you done? I can tell you what's going on." She's like, "Go ahead." And I was like, up the road, there was a fatal car crash. So a family lost someone that was sitting beside them, much like you are right now. They're not calling me right now like you are. But I said, they're dealing with that, and everybody that's out there working is dealing with that. Sorry you're inconvenienced on your weekend. And she went, "I'm sorry." And just hung up. And I was like, yeah. You just realized how big of an asshole you was, wasn't you? I called her back.
See, that's the nice in you, because I would have been a smart ass, and I would have said, "Do you remember that movie where that kid saw dead people? If you look out your window right now, is there a dead person? Because someone just died."
Oh, yeah. We get in trouble for that.
Oh yeah, that's
They
true.
record that stuff.
Yeah, I forget to turn my camera on.
I've been communicating on the phone with other agencies before, and I know the dispatcher that I'm talking to, and we kind of forget that we're on a recorded line. And then after you hang up, you're like, "Oh yeah, I hope Chief doesn't hear that and comes after me for that one." So it's kind of hard. You forget about that sometimes. But on phone calls like that, I'm sure you want to be like, look, you stuck up Karen,
Mm-hmm.
think somebody other than yourself. But we can't do that. You have to think about your job and the proper way you're supposed to do things and do it in a way that you're not going to get in trouble.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. I've got my greatest hits. I'm saving it for my retirement party. I record calls that I take and things I interact with and things I've said, and yeah, I'm saving them.
Are they the oops moments?
Oh no, they're funny. I mean, they're the ones that, I told one lady, I said, I said, ma'am, she was just rambling, and she would, I don't know if she was drunk or what, but it was, and I ended the conversation with, I said, your conversations made me want to stick a hot poker in my ear, and she's, it wasn't 911 call though, so it was all right.
That's good. So you're building up material for when you retire. You can still keep doing the dispatcher John thing.
Well, those I'll just, since I won't be working there anymore, I'll just release those and play them as, I'll sell the greatest hits.
You'll tour the
If
people
they-
for like a comment.
Yeah. There's the hot poker guy. Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna play him though. It's because everybody gets those calls and everybody has their people in town that are like that. So.
Yeah. So
And-
you said you started out, you were a firefighter for 10 years?
Yeah. I was young and loved it. Young and loved it. And it was God, here comes a joke. It was a volunteer, and it just, I worked that into here and there, and got into EMD, and shot over and got into the police department, and been there ever since. And
Wow.
but I've been there long enough. I've seen this massive change of officers, and when I first started, it was the older guys getting ready to retire, ex-military guys, blue collar guys that came up, and if thump on the head was needed, that's what that was back in those days.
The old mag lights.
Yeah, the respect was a different thing back then. I mean, it was earned and genuine, I think. Man, it was and to now, it's with the whole sway of things, the way things are now, it's just night and day. I hear guys every day say, man, it ain't like it used to be. I'm like, yeah, you're making me sound old, like it used to be. But I don't know. I mean, you guys don't seem like
I see
you've
a lot of
been.
the guys from our department that have been there, for 12, 15 years are like it. We've had a couple leave my department recently. They're just like, it's just not worth it. The hours, the unappreciation. I want to concentrate on my family and not ruin myself. So they're opting out, and they're having trouble filling their shoes with good quality candidates. You're getting people that apply, but they're not able to pass the physical or pass the mental, or they wash out in FTO. And so it's not only are you getting a smaller portion of guys and girls to apply, but they're not as good at quality either. So you're struggling to fill the gaps that people are leaving, and that's putting extra stress on the current staffing.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a different perspective because of being on the SWAT team or tactical unit. We were trained. I started law enforcement in 2002, so I was still part of the old getting hit in the head and basically called a feminine type name if you screw something up. And now you've got guys that have been in law enforcement long enough that are they're millennials, and there's no earn, like they don't want to earn the title, the respect. You know, we have quite a process on our team to become entry, like the main entry, or like the what we call the A team or the pro team.
Yeah.
You can't just show up, go through SWAT school, and beyond that, it's a 3-year process minimum to become an actual guy that goes into a door. Well, they get stuck on perimeters, they get stuck on some smaller stuff, but in their mind, they've earned the vest. We have to, you know, constantly hold them back to say you haven't really earned anything yet. You're part of our team, but you're an accessory to the team. You haven't earned your spot on the team. And they're wanting that instant, like, hey, I'm on this, I'm here now, you're gonna respect me. And they're like, okay. So the older guys are like, all right, well, let's do a scenario. And you're like, hey, we're gonna, you know, go into this house and here's your suspect in this area. What are you gonna do? Just to almost make them realize they don't have that knowledge yet.
Yeah.
Just to not so much to slow them down, but to make them realize, like, there are legit dudes on here. You haven't earned that place yet. And it's kind of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's.
So, I mean, I'm in check.
I mean, it seems like these days everything is just supposed to be instant. Hey, I'm here. This is what I mean, I've seen guys that are. One guy asked me one time I should work weekends so he could have the weekends off and have day shift. And I went, I've worked here longer than you've been alive. That's how that works. And
Yeah.
but I don't know. What?
It'll be interesting to see when people like that become admin. Like,
Oh,
they
that's
hand
happening.
over-
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting to that time now to where that's the wave coming in, you know, and it's been that way for a while. That could be some of the problem. I mean, you know, that's actually, you know, that generation's been growing up now, and I don't know. It's just
We need-
like,
We need someone on the show to like bridge the gap. We need somebody that like puts something out to like translates, or like how do you show the person's value enough to satisfy them, but not enough to realize they're still not experienced. I don't know. I think all of us old guys have issues with that too. If we're speaking plainly, you know, like we don't understand how you can just think you're a punk ass and show up and get this title, or get the respect. So
I was in a
It's weird. Go ahead.
I was in a class at a conference, and because of the title of it, I thought it would be interesting. I guess I misunderstood what it was about, but it was how to work, or I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was working with millennials, or how to work with millennials. I said, hey, I'll go hear this out. And the instructor basically said it was our generation's fault and the parents' fault, because this generation grew up seeing us miss family events, work holidays, work overtime, not be there for the family. So they know how much it sucks, and they don't want a part of that. So that's why they're coming in. I want my weekends off with my family. I'm not working overtime. I want this shift. And said that's where it kind of derived from. And it got into a little bit deeper than that, and I left. But I was like, oh, just pay your dues and go to work. And little brats.
I mean, it is kind of our fault, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of sad to see that, and because we don't have anybody to blame but ourselves. We like to gripe about it, but it's my generation is the one that did this. We're the ones that said, like you were saying, that this happened to me, and I'm not going to be that way to my kid. My kid's going to have everything they want, and then so they grow up entitled, and they grow up thinking that's what they deserve, and it's not the way the real world works, and they're trying to make it that way, but it just doesn't happen.
That's like the big quote going around now. You know, hard times make good. You know, or good time. I got mixed up. You know what I'm talking about. Hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good. Or I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
I'm totally botching it right now.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it all over Facebook and stuff like that. But yeah, something makes weak men and something makes strong men, and
Yeah. So you know we got. I know Rogan said it. Rogan quoted somebody on it. And it was. I just can't remember. I watch it every day. I love it. I mean, it's truth.
So it's hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
It's out of a novel. Nice. Yeah, I mean it's true.
I don't know what the hell you guys are saying. I can't follow you.
I don't read.
That's
hard.
that.
Hard. I don't know what's hard for firemen. You know, like your front of your pants. Is that what you're talking about? When we look at each other in the shower.
They don't shower together. They shower at the same time. That's all.
Oh yeah.
That's right. It's keeping it on the down low.
Yeah.
What happens in the fire station stays in the fire station.
Yeah, and that whole liquid soap thing.
Yeah.
They
takes forever to get off the ground.
I'm picking it up. The something I wanted to ask you. Give me a minute. It's how much hate are you guys getting, or how much do you get from social media? Because I've been getting dogged lately. You guys have in your title badge, so obviously you're going to be linked up to anything that supports law enforcement. And I was wondering if you guys have any, because I'm getting it. Not a lot of
I
hate.
think you're on a broader, you know, I don't know what the word on here is. You're exposed way more than we are. I think we're kind of a niche podcast. So there's a core group of people that listen to us, and then every once in a while we get some exposure. But every once in a while we'll get some comments. Somebody will say something about a post I put up in support of officers or stuff like that. But mostly what I've seen is they'll follow the page, they'll realize what it's about, and they'll just leave. So for us, and plus we're here in the Midwest, and I know Facebook is global and everything, but it's usually people around you are the ones that respond to it, friends of friends and stuff like that. So I know people that have dealt with that. There's some organizations we work with that during the whole pandemic thing, they tried to have conferences and keep doing their job, and in the middle of their conferences they were fighting off hackers nonstop. They were having to kick them out of the comment sections and stuff like that. It's not something we necessarily had to deal with a lot on our end, but like we're not as exposed to it.
Definitely see like the shadow banning and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I guess as you mentioned, like our posts, we've got a couple posts that have hit, I don't know, a few thousand, and then you'll see others that hit like 100, and you're like, what? Like, how do you go from like 1,000 to like 10? You know,
Yeah.
and it's the numbers are arbitrary, but clearly there's something in the algorithm of social media that like stops whatever that content is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, if I share a firefighting TikTok or video, those usually go big. But
Yeah.
I mean big. I've seen some of them's been really big. I'll post another one an hour later, 13 likes. I mean, it's just, I'm to go from one having, I've had one go up, it was really, I don't know why, but it went to like 6.4 million.
Whoa.
And it was a guy pulling a hay trailer on fire, and the hay was falling off, and that's all it was. and it hit some algorithm that just went crazy, and if I posted anything else after that one, I think there was some that were just like minimal, nothing. Just, hey, my mom liked it. That's awesome. But it was just
Man, a
nothing.
good friend of mine. He's a lieutenant on a SWAT team in Southwest Oklahoma, and he has a Mali monkey, and he had a video that went absolutely viral. It's him cleaning his gun, his Glock service pistol.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And the monkey. Have you seen that one yet?
God, I gotta find it.
It's
Glock and monkey, I'm in.
Yeah, and it's a tiny little monkey, and the monkey's like squeaking the whole time. And Daniel, the guy I know, is like, no, it doesn't go that way. It doesn't. And so through this, I don't know, 4 or 5 minute video, he's talking about, man, you're actually cleaning better than most guys on my SWAT team that I command. And he starts laughing. He goes, I'm gonna take this back to the guys, and I'm gonna tell them, look, even a monkey can clean this gun. I don't know what you guys' problem is.
Ah. Yeah.
It's a good one, but the point is, it went to like millions of views, and he's cleaning a gun with a monkey. But if anyone like the rest of us are playing with the gun, we're gonna get banned or something.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna take it down for community guidelines or whatever.
I have noticed there's a lot of we'll put up some posts that have nothing to do with COVID at all, and it'll get a COVID warning on it and a fact checker thing, and I'm going, no, at no point do we mention pandemic, virus, COVID, nothing. We don't mention anything like that. And this thing, I'll go back and I'll be reviewing the post and it'll pop up on it. I'm going, I don't understand why that's there. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a way they tag stuff to try and diminish your post or what, but
I don't know. I had the one. What was the one? I had one recently. I posted while I was on vacation, and I just started seeing crazy numbers, and I was like, "What the hell?" And it was a TikTok I shared about a 911 call, but it was from the Paradise PD. So I mean, it was funny. I liked it, so I shared it, and I got so many views on that, but I also gained 15 to 20,000 followers. I mean, it was
wow.
what it hit. I don't know, but it just, that's why my Facebooks and Instagrams like this different. It was, and I said, I have no idea what I hit or what happened, or if, I mean, that's just, it was insane. And, but it seems like since stuff like that's happened, I don't know. I don't know if I'm shadow banned or it just doesn't make sense. I don't know.
So how do you think we combat that? Because I mean, there's not really anything they can do with the podcast. They can't stop you from streaming. They can stop you from promoting it on social media.
Mhm.
I've noticed a lot of the YouTubers that I follow are getting, they're getting frustrated because their stuff keeps getting demonetized, or it's like the algorithm stopping it from getting it out there. So I don't know if there's a way to get around that or what we're going to have to do, but there's got to be a way to find some grassroots connection to get this stuff out there, because there are people that want to see it. The media just controls it, so you think there isn't.
I don't know. I'm not bragging. I'm not saying this. I don't want you guys to treat me different after I tell you this, but I've got 162 followers on YouTube, and I'm ready to fight this. I'm all in.
Just go for broke.
I'm going to take it to them.
I think you got 162 more than we do, so
Right. Right.
you're like a YouTube influencer to us.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I've avoided the whole YouTube thing simply because of the turn, in opinion and in the way that YouTube is going. I've avoided it because of that. So I've tried to keep everything. I shouldn't be just on Facebook and Instagram, but they're the ones that I stay on because they're the most consistent responses. If I try to go to something else, I feel like I get, blocked and
Well, I know a lot of guys are going to like Bumble and some other outlets. But
Yeah.
I worry it's kind of like whatever President Trump went on, or right after he was going out, they like banned him and he switched to something
Yeah.
else.
I'm trying to remember.
But now
Truth.
it's shut down. So
This is Truth. The new one?
well, it's like if you go to that, and you develop something, it can't compete with Facebook or Meta, whatever the hell it's called.
Mhm.
You can't compete with it. Like
No.
huge money. So are you going to put all that effort into that for it to just be taken down or offline or
Yeah.
whatever? It's kind of like I don't know if you follow Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
Gary V is really big, and he's like I play 80% kind of messing around, and I play 20% really hard, and so he's like he was all early into Snapchat. He was early into I can't even think of other things, but he's been on point for all these things because he's always working
TikTok.
on other
He hit
stuff.
TikTok big too.
Yeah, TikTok. He's always working something. So it's like, is that what you have to do with your social media? You have to be on several platforms, and then one of those finally takes off.
Maybe so.
You can't cross post.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is, but is it worth the effort? I mean, like us, we both do the podcast, but we both work several other jobs outside of this. And so it's like, how much effort, I have very limited family time. How much of that do I want to devote to just trying to run the hamster wheel to stay ahead of the game and connect to people out there? So I don't know, sometimes like beating your head against the wall.
Especially when you're fighting shadow posting or shadow banning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get a view or anybody on this thing, but and then you look at that is am I going to get out there? Is it going to be? So who knows? I wouldn't.
I mean, bro, I'll get at least one because I'll send this to my mom and she will walk it. It'll probably be on mute.
What's the old before Facebook was
MySpace.
MySpace, yeah. We'll go back to MySpace.
Man,
I liked MySpace.
I did too. I had banging songs on there, man.
Tom never screwed. Tom never screwed with us.
That's right.
Tom was always there. He let us share music. He let us have freedom. He was my first friend.
Yeah. He was our friend.
He had my back, damn it.
Take it back to MySpace. We should start a trend.
Yeah, take a lesson, Zuck. Go back to Tom.
Oh my goodness.
Tom could kick his ass.
We'll do what we can. We'll share it with our 5 or 6 followers, and that's what I try. Like any post I have, I try and tag as many people as I know that are connected in social media as I can, and then hopes that somehow somebody picks it up or somebody hits that right button and gets it going.
Whatever, bro. That Dispatcher John guy is sponsored by Relentless Defender and Bates Footwear. We're sponsored by plastic leftover cups of whiskey, and I don't know.
Don't give up, little fella. Reach for the stars.
We just haven't gotten the big hook yet.
You just wait, Dispatcher John.
I mean, do you have your own apparel yet with them?
Not yet. We're gonna see how many views this gets, and I've already I talked to him, and I'm definitely gonna. I'm gonna jump on the merch train. I see, but that's gonna be coming, and they're great people. They're great company. The shirts, I love them. They're comfortable. So, the way I've always been, if you always associate you with the best people you can. And if I won't associate with someone, that means something. And because I give anybody and everybody, equal. But from the way I got with them, I drove and I went out and met him at Police Week, and that's where we got going. And I said, you know, after they started making the dispatcher collection, and I just thought it was cool of them. They really stepped up and started shining some light towards the dispatch, and been received really well. Now they do firefighter collection and correction. They have all these different collections, and they're just not the police. That's what else they have. They have politically correct. I love those shirts. But yeah, and
So is your Bates collection, is that house shoes?
we prefer them as relaxed fit.
I want to get a deal with like gay dudes.
Yeah.
Those are comfortable.
Relentless Defender is actually making him robes in case dispatch gets too cold, and Bates has slip-on house shoes in case he's got to go potty.
Hey,
You get to go
has this information been leaked? That's supposed to be confidential. It's just in prototype right now.
Oh my goodness. Blankets would be the bomb. There's so many blankets laying around dispatch. It's ridiculous.
They make.
What if you have?
Hey, Relentless Offender makes blankets, custom. You can put your name on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Dispatcher blankets. I'm telling you.
There you go.
Which you can get
So you're
15%
saying
off with.
Dispatcher John can comfort you.
That's right. And you can also
What
get
do you-
15% off with dispatch code Dispatcher John.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't pay full price for your blanket, dispatchers.
Throw your snuggie away.
We're poor. Dispatchers are broke. They need
I-
all the help they can get.
I thought it would be funny because Bates also has socks. I'll throw out their socks every once in a while, and with their shoes, and they sent me some, and I love them. You know, they're. And I thought about taking a picture with them, propping my feet up, and put Bates' new dispatch line of work shoes for dispatchers. Because if you've seen, there was a meme the other day of the boots, shiny shoes, boots, tennis shoes, and then socks, and it was state troopers, city police, deputies, and dispatchers. The dispatchers were in their socks.
You know what? If they really want to appeal to dispatchers, they need to have like comfortable adult diapers. That's what they need to make. See, you know, when you're sitting in dispatch and you just don't have time to go. Yeah, so like something that looks like you're wearing shorts or pants, but they're actually a diaper.
What?
I'm interested. Keep talking.
Like my agency, I'm the sole dispatcher in the agency. So if it's really hopping, I can go 8 hours without using the restroom, without eating, without anything. So if you make something that looks like a pair of pants, and I can at the least pee in it and still be comfortable, I am absolutely down. That's a real deal.
I think you should get them to get like color changing if you actually urinate and you pee in them. That way, it's not like you sneezed and peed a little. Like there's like a
It
little
changes
bit of
from
pee.
like a
and there's
blue line to a red line.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that would be funny. Oh, my nose leaked.
Yeah. Sneeze. That's just a sneeze. I don't know if that's pee or poo.
The food could be
Yeah.
Get a detective up here.
Hope you're paying attention, public defender. We've got some great ideas going.
Relentless Defender.
Relentless.
Defender, sorry.
The Relentless Defender tushy wipes also.
Oh
In
yeah.
case you can't make it.
It's a horse bath.
I keep trying to. I'll come up with a shirt, and I'm like, hey, I got a good idea, and no. And I was like, you're gonna get one. I'm gonna make a shirt one of these times. And the other day I found out that a quote that I put on one of my memes is on a shirt on Amazon for sale. And I went, you thieving. Okay, I'll give you credit. Cool. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was, and I remember when I made the meme, I remember the officer, what he did all night. and I was venting, and I let it out, and I that meme was stolen over and over by different pages. No, I mean stolen. I mean they took my name off and put theirs on. I don't mean, because I want to be shared. If I make something, it's to be shared. People ask, "Can I share this?" I'm like, "Hey, that's what it's for." And but I mean, when you just disrespect and just take my tag off, that's different.
So we're in the Midwest, you know, so it's kind of well, we have we're in Oklahoma, and the last two presidential elections, the whole state is red. There's no blue in any of, like, when you do the vote and it tallies up, you know, everything's red. All 77 counties of Oklahoma. And I saw them on Facebook and I screenshotted it. I don't know if you have Cricut. You know, Cricut is one of those like vinyl printers where you can like do whatever, you know, do whatever you want. So my aunt has one of those, and so I screenshotted something and I sent it to her, and I was like, "This would be fun if you made this into a shirt." And about 2 weeks later, I get that shirt in the mail, and it's a I think you've seen me wear it, black shirt, and it's got white lettering, and it said, "When I die, don't let me vote Democrat."
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so easy to steal stuff with the Cricut too,
Yeah.
with that vinyl.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Printers and everything.
Oh yeah, like lasers and all this stuff.
Well,
Oh,
I can beat that because I'm worse. I'm in probably the worst state. I'm in the Midwest too. I'm in Illinois, and my whole state is red except for Chicago, which is blue, which turns everything blue. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, if you ever look at the map, it's all red, maybe except one county south, and then all of Chicago. That's tough.
So, you know, since you have more clout, maybe you can get somebody to respond. We've been trying for years. I don't know if you've ever heard the song "Coming In Hot" with Andy Mineo and Lecrae.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wrote the record company, we wrote the artist, because we would love to use them as part of our intake music, and we don't even get a response. Maybe you, being the big dog that you are with your 162 followers on YouTube, can get some basic connection.
It's about time I use those. Yeah, it's about time I cashed in that 162. See, I didn't want you to treat me different, you know, when I told you that. And now it's awkward. No, I don't.
It's like Ron Reagan. I'm talking to Ron Reagan.
Wrong. Anybody wrong?
Yeah, Ron, we're tight, bro.
That's old school. Yeah, I don't. Gosh, have you ever gotten in trouble for posting something with a song or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
No, we haven't. Like we've been contacted by like a record.
No, not
Like
contacted, but like what they do is they block it.
Huh?
Like when we very first started, there was bits of, maybe this happened at the radio station more than here, but you'd share it on Facebook, and they would, because we used to do Facebook Live when we do our radio shows.
Yeah.
And they would block out that portion of Facebook Live until the music was over.
What? I
Because
didn't know
it's
that.
copyrighted.
I see it all over Instagram or TikTok and all, like everyone's song is on there. I thought if you just gave credit to the artist or whatever, that you'd
Nah.
be good.
I don't know.
Thanks, Lars. This is all
Right.
Lars' fault.
So what was
Napster.
Napster? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak.
I hope Tom wasn't friends with him.
Hey, well, I got notified of a community standard violation yesterday from Facebook on my personal page, and you guys know Major League, where Wild Thing, Charlie Sheen's character.
Yeah.
He's on the mound and he's like, in this league we wear sleeves, and he grabbed his crotch, and while the coach is talking to him. Well, it was a picture of that, and somebody had posted something on my wall or something, and that's my reply. I put that picture of him grabbing his crotch on the ball diamond on the pitcher's mound, and they said this was the violation, that it's nudity and or offensive blah blah blah. It's from 2016.
Right?
Yeah.
I could do way worse than that. Just give me a second.
Get a life, you dirtbag. I mean, I'm not that interesting.
Yeah. How many employees are like sitting around Facebook trolling to find this stuff?
Oh, I know.
Okay, look, I think that would kind of be a fun job. I would do it.
I would do the nudity section. Like, yep, I think that's nudity.
I
Oh,
don't
no,
think it'd
no.
be as good as you know.
Oh, I'd be like, yeah, he is new. She, no. There's no
Take him
color
down.
here.
Take him down.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense a lot of times on what they do. It's clearly steered towards one side. So whatever. You do what you do and hope the stuff gets out there and the right people see it.
One of my favorite GIFs, or GIFs, everyone says it different, but I say GIF here. The GIF, the moving pictures.
Mhm.
One of my favorite ones is the Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards, where he's like, "I've been yelled at before,
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah. he's
murdered for this." And he's like, "I've been yelled at before, right?" So I have that. That's in my like top GIFs, and so I'll send that to people when I do something stupid, and I send it to someone, and they're like, "Yeah, that ain't cool," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, Major. Like, I didn't mean to send that to you."
Oh my goodness. I mean, if you don't get in trouble, you're not doing your job right.
That's right.
I tell you what, one of the guys I worked with for years, he retired, outstanding guy. He got in trouble and got 5 days off. I wrecked a squad car or something, I can't remember. But I think it was before my time, before I worked there. He did, something happened, and he walked through, the assistant chief walked through the squad room, and he was sitting there typing, didn't miss a beat, didn't look up. And he said something and kind of cocked off, and the assistant chief turned around and said, "Hey, you go, blah, 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 you'll get 3 days off." He goes, "I'll send you home and you'll have 3 days off." And he's like, he was just typing, didn't look up, and he goes, "Shit, I can do 3 standing on my head. I just come off 5.
Oh no, give me a mandatory vacation.
So if I can start, I'm gonna bring that's what I like to bring, that old school stuff into my stuff, because people are like, "Oh, that was never really said." And I'm like, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We say that.
What's funny is, like, let's say you and the deputy chief went through the academy together, and now you're just like a sergeant with no responsibility on nothing, and he's the deputy chief, and you're like, "What or whatever," and one of the new guys is like, "Oh shit, you said that to the deputy chief." You're like, "Yeah, fuck Steve," like, whatever, and the new guy's like, "What are you doing?" Like, "I can't believe you're doing that."
God,
Don't try that.
Yeah.
you know what I've seen that guy do? Oh, I do. I mean, because, I pretty much know everything on everybody. And
Yep.
when everybody tries to be a fish, I'll be like, "Hey, you remember that time when we were," and he's like, that's all I got to say. I'm the guy that's like, all right, that's enough. No.
Is that how you keep people in line? You try to put them on your Dispatcher John page if they mess up, and so they behave for you.
No, well, some of them, one time, yeah, I've had a couple times where one of them, we start, popping on each other, and he's like, something, and as soon as he does something, I'm like, "Hey," he's like, "What?" I said, "You just made a meme," and he's like, don't use my, I was like, "Oh no, you're gonna be famous," and yeah, I'm like, and when I make memes, some of the guys try to figure out who it is that said it or did or whatever. But yeah, like one time this guy was walking out of the room and he looked up at our monitor, and it had the weather, and in the corner it said current conditions, or it said weather now, and he goes, "Is that right now? Is that the temperature?" And I got up and I walked over there and I pointed to weather now and took a picture. And you can, it's on, I posted it. I didn't say nothing to him. I posted it and he comes over the radio and he went, "Dispatch is nothing sacred." And I was like, come on. Come on, you earned it. But yeah, that stolen T-shirt thing, man, that was a night I was in a mood, and it just come out in this thing, and now to see people making that on shirts, I couldn't believe it. I ain't getting nothing.
Oh. So do you have that Dispatcher John? Is that official copy right now?
No, I haven't trademarked it or anything yet, but I mean, who wants it? No, nobody wants it. I bought some domains. I've started the process, but yeah, I've went through the trademark thing before, and it's honestly though, it's if you've ever had anything trademarked, it's really a cool feeling to create something and then have it designated as yours. And it was MMA apparel back years ago, and I had a lot of fun with that, and it just kind of.
So how much longer do you want to keep up doing this? How much longer do you want to be a dispatcher?
Well,
How
if
much longer do I have to? This is how much longer do I want to?
listen, if that Dispatcher John merch takes off, I'm out. How's that? If I sold 6 cups, I would be out next week. No, I've still got retirement, and is bad in my situation. I started really young. I started dispatching when I was 6 years old, and by the time I get the retirement age, I'm going to be maxed out. I'll have my time in, but I won't be old enough to retire. So when I'm old enough to retire, I'll be maxed out. So I'll be making pennies on the dollar. And, you know, what screws you is when you read this fine print, because if I read that if I stay 4 more years, my retirement doubles. And I'm like, gosh, that's a lot of money for 4 years. And then I'm thinking, you know, that's no, oh, I don't want to do that. And then I start looking at how much I can make by selling pictures of my feet, and
OnlyFans?
anything I can to scrape it up to get out.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know what that was until some of the firefighters started telling me about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they started showing me stuff, and I'm going, whoa. No, that's a whole nother realm I'm not putting on my phone.
I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Fetish, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I guess I'm just out of touch. Another thing I don't get is dick pics. I don't. Wait a minute. Let me say I don't want dick pics. I don't understand the premise of dick pics is what I mean. And because here, hang on. Let me explain this because I've stepped in it. I'll get a follower and I'll follow them back. And there have been times if I try to be like, hey, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. I send a message, and I've gotten thank yous of, hey, I appreciate you not sending me and I'm like, do I have a reputation? I said, I've never sent anything. And they say, I said, why would you? I mean, I was like, is there a rumor about me? What? I don't. And it's like, no. She goes, that's guys just do that now, and it's just unsolicited. I'm like, well, not from me. I said, that ain't my, if I take the tractor out of the barn, we're going to do some work. I just ain't show and tell.
That's a great one.
I'm stealing that.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
copyrighted.
I agree. It's funny the people that would get in trouble for doing that too. That it's like, why you have one female firefighter in the department, and everybody's sending her pictures. Why would you do that? You know she's gonna tell.
Make her work for it. There ain't no free rides. You don't get that. I'm special.
And let's take a break for our next sponsor, Pornhub. Brought to you by Metro John. Use the code 15.
I told him OnlyFans we were gonna
Oh,
start an OnlyFans.
dude, I have the best joke about OnlyFans.
Please do tell.
So I know a guy who has a badass girlfriend.
Okay.
Badass. And she had an OnlyFans. And he said, we can make this into something. And she's like, tell me more. Total catfishing. Total catfishing. So he manages her OnlyFans.
Oh.
He does all of it. She just is the picture. And
Hey, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't want to dime you out here, Dispatcher John, but there's a girlfriend experience that people pay for, and he does all the texting through a fake number, right?
Yeah.
He has all these pictures of her like washing dishes or like doing laundry, and they schedule these text messages in the morning, like, hey, it's you pay for this $1,500 experience, and she, air quote she, texts the person in the morning, like, hey honey, how are you today? What do you have planned? Kind of like a girlfriend would, which that's not a girlfriend I ever had. But they text, and then throughout the day you get to ask, like, what are you doing? Well, he has all these saved pictures, and so he'll send like, oh, I'm doing the dishes, and like send a generic picture that he has. Total catfishing. So the other side job is apparently OnlyFans has a rate your junk thing, right? He's rating all these dicks. The male half of the relationship
sent to the
has
girl.
to give up to 5 dicks, like 5 stars, and he's giving all these ratings to dicks. It was somewhere between $200 and $400 a week that they would make off of this stuff. A week.
Holy mackerel.
Yep.
That man deserves every penny he's earned.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah. I sent him my bunghole, man. I was like, hey, how many stars is this?
2. What the?
You go 3 and I'll
Just a
scream.
big zero.
Okay, so all right, so you can educate me. That's the girlfriend experience. Just getting text and talking like you would. It's not. It's not.
Apparently there's no arguing, no bitching,
So
no
not real.
like, yeah, not real. I mean, why just pay $1,500 to like someone to bitching?
So okay, so if you ask in the girlfriend experience, if you say where do you want to eat, she'll be like, oh, she'll tell you.
Yeah, you list
Oh,
off 5
that-
places,
You know that's not
and then
true
she
then.
says, yeah, you list off 5 places, and she don't like any of them. You're like, well, apparently you do care.
You know it's fake. Then it's fake. She wouldn't tell me where.
If they pick, you know it's a guy.
Yeah.
That's a dude. That is a dude. Golly. Huh.
See, there's this whole other world I've never been exposed
Oh,
to,
yeah.
and I don't want to be.
Well, now it's like meta world where you're in virtual.
Yeah.
And that's
You can buy property
Yeah.
in virtual reality.
Oh, don't even get me started on NFTs, non-fungible tokens. That's buying like the digital. Oh, dude, baseball cards, right?
Yeah.
You don't buy. I mean, you can still buy regular baseball cards, but now you buy a digital certificate to a baseball card, and that's
So that's like the new pet rock.
yeah.
The sea monkeys.
Pretty much.
They didn't learn. They didn't learn from the old days. It's a new pet rock. I don't. People are making big bucks. They're making big
yeah.
bucks off that though.
They are.
Killing it.
They are.
Killing it. And
What was that?
what?
That was a loud one. Oh yeah, Beeple, this guy that designs all these pictures, puts them out there. He sold something for like $6-something billion. It's the rights to a picture that looks like dog hair.
What the? What?
Yeah, we're in the wrong business.
How is this happening?
Is how do you assign a value to something? Well, the value is what some dumb shit will pay for it. That's the
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sell like a gold spray painted turd for like $200. And I'm like, well, this is worth $200 the last guy. You basically start with a paperclip, i.e., a gold painted turd, and you work your way all the way up to a free house or something. You know. That's the way
Well,
to do it.
look at what they're doing on TikTok. I mean, girls are making whatever they want to just by, hey, I'm eating a Pop-Tart in a bikini, and it's like 14 million likes. And I was like, who? What? I'm out there busting my ass for a TikTok.
What's her name?
Huh?
Yeah,
14
right.
million.
Why
What?
look her up?
Yeah.
What kind of Pop-Tart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it s'mores or is it blueberries?
Heat it up and toast or not.
Hey, I tell you one.
Buster.
Oh yeah, I eat up my s'mores.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What? Do you think we're savages?
Pop-Tarts. You don't put, do you put all your Pop-Tarts in the toaster?
At the same time?
No. When you're eating a Pop-Tart, you put it in a toaster.
Yeah.
If I've got a toaster.
Right. Right.
If I'm in a waiting room or something, that shit's gone. I'm like, yeah, more diabetes. Get it.
So we have a grocery store here called Aldi's.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, we froze. You paused your video. Are you there?
You what?
You paused your video.
I did.
I think we had a connection issue. Did you hear us talk about Aldi?
You mentioned it, and I said, oh, hell yeah. I know Aldi.
So, yeah, Aldi's. I prefer their Pop-Tart, whatever their brand of Pop-Tart is, to the real Pop-Tarts.
Hmm.
Because it's from Germany. Germany.
Germany? Is it Germany?
I don't know. They import a lot of German shit. Yeah.
There is a dude on, I think I saw it on TikTok, and I can't find it. It's gone. I've searched everything I can search. It's like he works for Aldi, or he put on, he's like, oh yeah, welcome to Aldi's, come in. We open a box, we throw that shit on the shelf, you take care of it yourself. And I was tears rolling, and I gotta find it.
Yeah, you gotta bag your own groceries. You gotta throw them up on there, and they just toss. All they do is toss it into a basket. They get paid.
Yeah.
Aldi's is smart.
I mean, I bought a bunch of those baskets. The shopping carts are 25 cents. I don't know what you guys are doing with them, but I'm flipping those
Hey,
bitches for
I'm I'm big into barbecuing. I love cooking, barbecue,
Yes.
grilling.
Yeah.
And actually, that could be, another sponsor of mine is Code 3 Spices. They,
We're smooth with that.
no, there is. I mean, a great guy a great bunch of guys up in Collinsville, Illinois. They have a store, and they donate to first responder charities. They've done a lot of work, and everything is represented in police, fire. I don't think they have a dispatch, but they got military seasonings, rubs, and
Aldi. Will you get your meat there like I do?
yes.
Oh, it's good meat.
Yes. Chicken, pork, amazing prices.
I got a beef loin from there, and it was like $40, and I'm like, that's a beef loin, and marinated that thing over, I think, for 2 days, and threw it on a grill, took it to a medium rare, and no, it was like butter. Oh, it was awesome. Because
What kind of smoke? What kind of smoker you use? Please don't tell me pellet, because I'll call you gay. What kind of smoker is it?
Sir, please.
It's a pellet.
Look, I ain't no pellet. I got charcoal. I'm charcoal, wood chip. I have a propane, but I don't use that. I'm all charcoal. I'm old school. I like the charcoal. I do have a digital smoker, but I like to throw a brisket in that every now and then.
Yeah. I've got a big green egg, and I've tried a bunch of different things. And that big green egg is amazing.
I like my smoke. I don't care if it's pellet. It works. Makes meat taste good.
It's an easy bake oven, bro.
So you tell me you never ate anything out of an easy bake oven?
Well, yeah, like,
Well, you'd still eat
she
it.
was hot.
You
We
put
were
meat
like
in front of
7.
me, I don't care. You put meat in front of me. If you tell me it's pellet smoke versus wood smoke, I'm still gonna eat it. I don't care.
That's true.
I threw a brisket. I was getting the brisket ready, and my son came in. He's like, "Hey, when's that going to be ready to eat?" And I went, "Tomorrow." He's like,
Yeah.
"What are we going to eat today?" I'm like, "I don't know. Not this."
Bologna.
Start chomping on them smells. See what you get out of that.
Hey, I'll tell you something I created. Well, I've never seen anybody do it. I did it on a whim. I bought this smoker, and I was practicing. I threw chicken wings in it. I threw this, and just trying to feel it out and learn how to use it. And I was like, we got cans of Spam, and I threw Spam in it. Now listen, hear me out. I know people have their feelings about Spam. It puts a bark around it. And I'm talking, I let it go for hours, and it, I don't know what juices are in it, but it is, you cut into it, and oh, it's amazing. So now every time I fire up the smoker, I throw, 3-4 cans of Spam in it. Just
I do
to,
the same with bologna.
That's what I've got a bologna on the smoke.
You ever done bologna? Big old roll of it?
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we do a lot of bologna here. There's a company called Schwab's. It's a local company.
Yeah.
And it's red bologna on the outside. And
Uh-huh.
man, they have these little ones that are kind of like they're about the size of a sausage, like a frozen sausage that
Oh,
you
yeah.
buy. And there's a name for them. I don't know. It's not roll. It's like a little.
Like,
No, it's like your sausage that you cook every morning. You slice in pieces.
like
It's
breakfast sausage?
yeah, like a roll of that.
Like the
Not bratwurst. Not like
no,
not like smoked sausage.
like the one that's like a
Like a link.
yeah.
No. This is like what you buy that has a little metal clip on each end.
Oh,
So it's about that size. You like the ones that you have to thaw to
yeah.
cook breakfast
Okay.
sausage, right?
Oh.
So they have a bologna roll that's that big. I'm gonna share my secret. I can tell you. I'll sidebar that I'm a big fan of Meat Church seasonings. I don't know if Meat Church has hit Illinois yet, but if it hasn't, it's a Texas-based seasoning. I don't know, Waxahachie or whatever the hell you say. But it's Meat Church, and it's taking the nation by storm. Yeah, you're googling right now, aren't you? So you cut this bologna log in half, and then you the rounded part. If you can imagine the sausage that you cut in half right down the middle, and there's a rounded on each end.
Yeah.
You cut that into like little fingers, and it's like a bloomin' onion, but it's bloomin' bologna. And then you put mustard on there and sprinkle the seasoning. Mind blowing.
I'm in. I'm so in.
One of the firefighters takes the blocks of cream cheese and
Yep.
smokes those.
Yep. That's good too. Yeah, you got to get on Meat Church's Facebook. No, they have a Facebook group. It's like Meat Church Congregation or something like that, and it is amazing stuff. I've got several of their seasons. That's awesome.
Hey, I'll tell you,
And our
hey,
next
check.
one,
If you check out that, I'm going to do some barbecue videos, I think, just for, I enjoy doing it and they give me a reason to do it. But yeah, I'll check out them. You can check out the Code 3
will.
spices. I usually put them on my page. Another guy, I was in Gulf Shores, and I stopped in and toured a dispatch down there, and we're walking around, and they said they were the second fastest growing dispatch in the whole state. And this department was it was unbelievable. I mean, and as I walk around, they go, "Oh, this is our kitchen." And I was like, damn, sorry, excuse me. And it was just a complete industrial chef kitchen. And I was like, dang. And he goes, well, and he told me that during the storms down there, they fed like 1,500 people responders and workers a day. They would run them through, and I'm like, and that was at Baldwin County, and the the coordinator there is he has his own barbecue sauce and spices, and as soon as he mentioned that, I'm like, yes, and he's like, oh yeah, here. He gave me some. It's some of the best rub I've had. I mean it. I put it on everything. Actually, I'm out.
So next time you're out smoking, make sure you're using your Code 3 spices while you're wearing your Relentless Defender t-shirt and your Bates shoes.
Slip-ons.
Well, you want to do the mid-size shoe for Bates just in case. You want a good ankle support because you're gonna be standing for a long time.
Well, man, that's awesome.
Oh, and by the way, the Bates discount code is DispatcherJohn15 for 15% off your order.
That's Dispatcher John. Code Dispatcher John.
Capital bitch.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to go check that stuff out.
You know, I can come out there to Oklahoma. I don't, it's not that far. I throw hands.
Pitch, capital P with a P. I think it's cut out. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, bad connection there, huh?
Pitch,
I mean,
yeah,
he is an officer, so you have to expect him to give dispatch a little bit of grub.
I do.
Oh,
I think it's
if I told you some of the things I can't tell on here, it would be like, I'd get canceled for some of the things I've said to some of my patrol guys, and we usually wind up just laughing. But
it's always fun. Like
Yeah.
I've taken Nate to our dispatch center. And it's fun, especially when you're like trying to hold it together over the radio, and then you end up calling each other. Be like, oh, this is what I was gonna say. You call that back line not recorded.
Yep.
yeah. Well, we have in the in-car mobiles, we chat back and forth, and those have gotten really interesting sometime. And
They track of ours.
oh, they do ours too. We just yeah, they're recorded. They're recorded, and I'm like, I have been set back. I'm like, I can't believe you said that. And yeah, they're if they ever dig those up, man. Well, not mine. I don't do it, but I do mine face to face.
Change your voice all high pitch.
Huh? Yeah, I
Change
told
your
you I was
voice to
young.
Another dispatcher.
No, they're typed out and under our name. I mean, everything's
Oh, wow.
logged. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
our name, time, date, when it was sent, everything. And these guys have, it's went crazy sometimes. It's just,
This 800 megahertz rebanding, and then we had a different radio. They've got switched to a different radio, and like there's
Guys
an
are like
issue.
a Frankenstein.
Yeah, we're on this crazy system right now, and so the SWAT guys used to have like Peltor Comtac headsets, like the ones that hooked up to your 800 radio, and they had a boom microphone, and like you can communicate. There's a push to talk button. Those didn't integrate with the new radios. We got issued. So now we have like these Secret Service like push to talk lapel mics.
Really?
They have not made it through. Like we've broken so many of them on deployments. Like they are just not strong enough for what we do. The point is, you have these new handhelds. Well, each radio has like a radio ID number, right? So we
Yep.
key up and it tells. Because we're on this bastardized system, they don't know whose radio is whose. And so I hit my red button, and they have no idea who is an emergency. That's the scary part. But it also means we get some, if no one recognizes your voice on the radio, then it
Yeah.
wasn't you type of thing. Because they don't know our radio numbers. They're in some spreadsheet by some radio guy that hasn't put them in.
ah,
That's funny.
I don't know. So we don't have any transcribed. There's no transcription or whatever you call that, or whatever that, where you used to put words to
Yeah.
translate.
Yeah.
We don't have that. Kind of not. There's several hundred deputies too.
Yep.
huh.
Well,
We,
if you ever station out this way, if you don't threaten to kill us, you can come by and we'll have a we'll have a smoking contest.
Cook off. Hey, I'm down.
We're gonna sponsored by whiskey and cigars. So you bring the seasoning and the meats, the shoes and the shirts, and we're gonna have the whiskey, the cigars. I don't know.
Come up with some good meat.
Scantily clad
Firefighter.
prairie women. Yeah.
We can do that. We can do that TikTok thing where we just jump around and cook in thongs to get follows.
Yeah.
I took offense to that. Because I mean, it's hard creating stuff. Not to sound like, oh, I'm a creator, but I mean, I made one time because we were talking about all the, I said a girl just has to put on a bikini and through the roof. So I photoshopped. I had a picture of two girls in bathing suits, and I photoshopped my face on one and Officer Smith's face on the other one. And I said, I posted it and I said, hey man, I've got a great idea for us to just blow up with followers. And Officer Smith, Rick, he loved it. And I'm going to tell you, it was one of my best Photoshop works I've done.
Seamless.
Oh, I was like, damn, I got it going on. Wait.
Not again.
What's that other guy, Officer Daniels? He does like thong stuff too. He's a dude. He's always,
Yeah.
I don't know, happy. I feel like.
Yeah, he puts it out there.
He's always shirtless in his bed,
That's what I
like
do.
doing
He's
something.
like the what's the Burt Kreischer? He's like the Burt Kreischer.
Yeah. That guy's on a comedy tour across the U.S. You know that?
Money.
He was here in Oklahoma City.
I mean, I've always
Burt?
said I could be like Tommy. What's his name? The big fat guy from Saturday Night Live that died.
Chris
Farley. I could be a Chris Farley.
Yeah.
I could make money embarrassing myself like that. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Not a problem.
Fat guy, yeah.
You don't do enough coke for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm too straight laced.
Yeah. That guy's jacked up, man. How do you go from like 0 to that?
He's just like his idol.
Who's his idol?
His idol was John Belushi.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. He wanted to be just like John Belushi. Well, he did it.
it did, yeah.
Went out to spin.
They said that dude just that was not put on. He was all the way out all the time. Just I couldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
And wear you out.
What if he was a dispatcher fire station with you all day?
Oh my goodness.
You're like, bro, go to your room.
Everybody else would go to their room. He'd be the only one in the day.
Yeah.
So
Like dancing around naked. That's probably what you fire guys do anyway.
not all the time.
have you seen the Adam Sandler tribute to him? The song he sung. It was on a Netflix special. He sung it on there, and it was on SNL, and he just I saw him live. I saw Sandler live, and he did it live. And you gotta look for it because it's or I can send it to you. He just talks about his life, and it's really touching. And then to see it live, at the end he says, "If we all make some noise, maybe he can hear us now." And just the place goes insane, just cheering and clapping. But they would bust you for cameras, so I had to put my camera. I put my phone up here, so it's the worst recording in the world. So you don't want to see my recording of it. But no,
Man, I feel like SNL, like in its heyday, it just hasn't been replaced.
No.
There's nothing like it today. Maybe we're just old crotchety dudes already.
Well, I think the comedy's not original. They just make fun of whatever politician or.
yeah, it's political. Who gives a shit about? When I watch Saturday Night Live, I don't watch it. I grew up on that. I love Saturday Night Live, and I don't want into politics. I don't, just the.
Like In Living Color. Did you ever watch In Living Color before that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah. Let me show you something.
Shanae was my girl.
Who was
But homie, the Clown.
Yeah,
Homie
that
the
one.
Clown. Homie, don't play that.
See, my guy, when me growing up, me and my buddies, that's how we communicated through TV shows, movie quotes. That's how we talked. I mean, if we were at a club and, you know, I'm like, hey man, let's bounce. And they're like, I'm like, I'd pull Shanae and I'd be like, I am ready to go. And they knew it was time to go. But, you know, if it wasn't for that or smoking the bandit quotes,
Yeah.
I don't think we couldn't get through life without. It's weird how I'm in communications now. Boy.
Well, man, I appreciate it. It's been great being on here. Had a lot of fun, and nice that you returned the favor and let us come on your podcast.
Hey, no problem. And I'm gonna take you up on that if I'm out there. I mean, you know, I usually like to go to places where there's beaches.
We got beaches.
Yeah, we got beaches.
It's with an eye, though.
Water.
No, it's with an eye. Beaches, man. We got lots of beaches around here.
The,
Someone beat you up, though.
I mean, we can show you a good time. You know, there's a strip club that's a documentary on,
Uh-huh.
is it Netflix
I don't
or
know.
something, or
Yeah.
Hulu or something.
Yeah, the red
Yeah,
dot.
we can take you there. I mean, you'll have to get vaccinated and stuff afterwards.
Yeah,
But
tetanus.
yeah. But there's places to go here in Oklahoma City.
wait a minute. And Oklahoma.
Red Dog.
Oh, the famous Red Dog?
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
here.
That's here.
Huh.
You would not want to go.
No, it's not that bad. I mean, we've got
Hey, look.
worse.
You
Start
don't.
you off.
Inside, it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Outside.
You don't-
yes.
You don't know where I've been. So
That's true.
I mean, you are up there by Chicago, so.
no, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm south of there.
Little
But
Cook
I-
County fun.
I did. I am a member of a gentleman's club, in out there where one of the workers there, the bartender, not the, you know,
Yeah.
it was close enough that she's lived in Oklahoma, or said she goes, I go into Oklahoma, it's just down the road. And I'm like, dang, all right. Because I mean, this was like, it's a gentleman's club, but it was a pole barn out in the field with nothing around it.
Oh, yeah.
But it was lovely. It was still, I mean, cherished it. It was nice.
Yeah, we run into cinnamon every now and then too.
Sure, man. If you're ever out this way, just give us a call, and we'd love to take you around.
Okay. Well, I'm there. I got something coming. Like I said, I'm gonna do a couple of these, a handful, not a couple. I'm gonna do. I've got a number set of podcasts, and then I want to flip it, and I want to do something a little different to involve different aspects, and I hope it's liked and accepted, and we'll see what happens. But I appreciate you guys.
All right.
Your content's original, you know, most of the time, other than stealing stuff every now and then. Actually, that's what I
I've-
do with your stuff. But
I've never stolen anything.
but I can. But that's me actually. But I can imagine what you're doing for your creativity for like outreach and podcasts and whatever it segues into. So I better be cool, man. We're gonna definitely follow it.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I appreciate it. Now what? Will that put me up to what? 163?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm gonna tell my mom.
Two of you. I thought you were going to share an account. Okay. You don't want to spoil me.
All right, man.
Yeah, maybe I'll tell my wife. I mean, I don't. She doesn't listen to this, but she could. She could follow you.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Say. All right, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Hey guys, anytime.